Ooh, I'm a supermodel. Yeah. No, it's really hot here today. So I've got my fan going on today. Today I am doing an experiment on foundation. I have this issue with application. I feel like it's just not working for me. Makeup doesn't want to agree with me. It just doesn't want to work with me. I'm lost. So I'm trying out all different techniques today. I will be using the same foundation. It's just, you know how my life goes. I have such issues with foundation going on. It feels like it's always cakey and weird. Now, raise your hand if that's how it's supposed to look. Tell me, am I supposed to look like I have caked on makeup? Because I don't want to look that way. I want to look like I have coverage, full coverage, because you can see, like, I'm filming on my Samsung Note 8 again. So, I mean, you can see every darn detail, disgusting splotch of my face. I really want to cover this, but I feel like when I try to do a heavy coverage, I look cakey, and I don't want to look cakey. I really just want to look like this is all gone. I've been trying different foundations. I really felt like it was the powder, because I feel like once I put powder on top of it, that's when everything goes wrong. But I'm noticing that when I'm putting on foundation, the foundation is really the thing that I'm having a problem with. So today I'm going to be trying 4 different techniques, and my nails are not done. I've been chipping them because I'm stressed. My mother-in-law's coming to live with me. So today I am going to be putting on foundation with my fingers, which is the old technique. I'll be using a sponge. I'll be using one of these cool brushes. I don't know what they're called. This is actually the color of the brush. So everything's been cleaned. And then I'm going to be using an actual foundation brush. I'm gonna have to do the technique the same way every single time. I feel that's only fair to figure out how this is working. So I did start out right away using the Argan Oil Moisturizing Cream. I put that on, and of course I let that sit. Now, I'm not gonna make you sit through all of that because this could go on all day. I will be putting on the moisturizer every single time. I don't want to do anything different except for how I'm applying the foundation. Now, the foundation I'm going to be using today is by Maybelline. It's 24 hours. Yes, see, I've been picking. Don't judge. And I know in one of my other videos, I actually said it was CoverGirl. It is Maybelline, and I was watching Nikki tutorials talk about this foundation, and the whole time she kept saying it's Maybelline. The whole time she said Maybelline, I kept saying, it's CoverGirl, Nikki, it's CoverGirl. No, it's Maybelline. So the first technique I'm going to start out with is by using the old technique of using my fingers. So the primer I'm going to be using is Revolution Pro Base Blur Primer. I don't want to wait for nail polish. I will be taking off my makeup with the Leaders Lab Argan Oil Deep Cleansing Tissues. I have not put on my primer yet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Here we go. I am going to take a close-up view and see what this looks like. Right off the bat, I can see these patches, and you can see the streaks where I was wiping. This is always my problem area right here. It seems to always get really cakey right above my lip, and I can't prevent that. Then I don't get a lot of good coverage right here. That's where it also starts to cake. You can see the streak lines here where I was trying to blend that in. And then of course I have my wrinkles where everything gets caught in. You can see on my nose, just some patchy stuff right there. The coverage is great, but again, you know, you're getting these splotchy things and I can't get rid of it. And then you can see up on my forehead how it just has all this weird patchiness going on here. So the finger technique is not the way to go. It gets really streaky and blotchy and it's really hard to get that full coverage because it just feels like you're just kind of spreading everything around and not really getting, you know, a smooth canvas. So now I'm going to take this off and we'll move on to the next technique. To make art with that. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on my moisturizer and my primer, and then when I come back, we're going to use the foundation brush. I'm primed and ready to go with technique number 2, using the foundation brush. Oh my. This is what always happens with the brush for me. My nose gets this really weird patchy thing that gets a line and I don't understand it. So I'm gonna be looking at this. Yeah, you can see right here in my nose how it gets kind of cakey and weird here. And then I get this weird thing on my nose where I don't get a lot of coverage right there. Right here. It just feels so heavy, like it accentuates my lines and my pores rather than covers them. I did the Wayne Goss method of pushing it into the pores, and that just doesn't seem to work for me. I still seem to have those incredibly large pores. If I really work at it, but then I seem to be moving the product around as well. I seem to be moving the foundation around. And then right here, I get that weird cakey. It just automatically cakes right there. I don't know what this line is either on my nose. And then if you, okay, so look, do you see what's happening? What's that all about? I'm literally taking it off with the brush. Some of you are probably going to say, well, it's probably your foundation. No, because this happens with every single foundation I use. I could be using this, the Bye Bye foundation, the Hello Flawless by Benefit, the CoverGirl Outlast All Day, the Insta Ready by Physicians Formula, and the Revolution foundation stick. This actually goes on worse, so we're gonna do this one next. This thing, terrible. I don't know how you people use this thing. I did both techniques. I did the buffing and then I just did the streaking. Holy, look it won't even go on my nose. It won't even stay on my nose. No, wrong? Oh my gosh. What? Look at my nose. You see those? Oh, yeah, you can see those patches right there. My nose is the killer though. Like, watch. What? Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really pretty. Oh, that's disgusting. And then you wipe it. My poor face. I'm on fire right now. Whew. I'm putting my face through crazy abuse right now. So my primer's on, and this is the last technique that I'm going to use with the sponge. I've actually been using this technique most often lately because I feel like I am getting better coverage this way. However, as you know, I have polyperipheral neuropathy. My brain does not connect to the nerves in my body. Anything that I do creates a numbness and tingling. And especially if I'm putting any pressure on my hand or my feet or my hips, it's done. I can actually go paralyzed in my hips, and my feet can go completely numb and I can't walk, and my hands will go completely numb, which you can see right now it's hot, so I'm really swollen. The sponge technique is, I feel, one of the best techniques, and we'll see how that goes. But the problem for me is that it's super hard on my neuropathy to do that constant dabbing motion. But, you know, all in the name of beauty. Here we go. I can already see in the camera that it's not as cakey as the other ones were. I feel like the coverage goes on a little bit more evenly. There's not a lot of cakiness going on here, but the coverage isn't all that fantastic. And that could be the foundation. Let's just be real. That could be the foundation. There's no caking by the nose here. There's not a lot of streaking around the mouth. Not very good coverage on my chin. And again, this might just be one of those things where I have to keep building on it with the sponge. It didn't really cake up the way that it did with the other stuff. Didn't really cover up my pores a whole lot though. But this technique by far seems to be the one where I don't feel like it's caked on and just clumped on my face. It's really hard for me to do though. I really struggle with this technique because it really hurts my arm and my hands and my fingers. But it is the way that I feel like I'm getting the best coverage without feeling like just there's a pound of makeup on my face. Now here's something else I want to show you. This is from the sponge technique. It doesn't look like a whole lot of makeup came off because it doesn't look, because I don't think I had to put a whole lot on. Either that or a lot of your makeup gets just stuck right in the sponge. So that might be why you're not getting that cakey feeling, because I do know that it gets stuck in there. I mean, ew. And we know it gets stuck in there too. You could see though that the coverage wasn't as heavy and thick as the other ones were, and I'm using the same amount of foundation. As I said, I'm doing nothing different. Everything is the same. Now, the next technique I'm going to use is going to be completely different because I am having these foundation issues, so I want to try something different. I'm going to do all the moisturizing and the priming, and I'll be right back to show you my last technique that I'm hoping works. About 15 years ago, I was a beauty freelance writer, and one of the topics that I had to do was how to get ready quickly. YouTube wasn't really a thing back then, so everything was about the articles and reading articles about beauty. I'm going to talk about one of the techniques that I talked about getting ready quickly, because I feel like this might be one of the ways that my foundation won't look so cakey. Back 15 years ago, powder foundation was a huge thing. Today, it's kind of like a thing of the past, and everything's all this liquidy, velvety foundation. You really can't find the powder foundation anymore. However, there are a couple products that are still doing that, and one of them is the Hello Flawless by Benefit. It is a pressed powder, but it still can be used as a foundation. So I'm going to do one side of my face with the Hello Flawless. Another product that I have that said that it can be used just alone without any foundation is the Argan Wear. So I'm going to try that on this side, and we're going to see how this works. And I am going to be using a powder brush for these. So let's see how this goes. It is absolutely beautiful. There's none of that cakey feeling. There's actually good coverage. Take a look at this side versus this side. Okay, so the coverage is great. I don't think I'm ever gonna get away from this wrinkle here that just kind of seems to pull in the makeup. It is pulling a little bit, but not too terrible. You can see I got some issues on my nose here. And this just might be one of those things where you need to keep building. And you can brush or dabby do. Beautiful coverage. Seriously beautiful coverage. Much better. And it doesn't feel cakey on my face. Okay, I'm gonna try Physicians Formula and we'll see how that goes. Now I have the Argan Wear on this side and the Hello Flawless on this side. Let's take a look and see the difference. The Hello Flawless came off with a little bit better coverage. The Argan Wear, as you can see, didn't really cover very well, but it kind of gave me that shimmery effect. It's really not my color, so it looks a little bit different. Hate this. I hate that I can't find a liquid foundation that's gonna work for me. Sometimes something can work for one person and it's not gonna work for everybody. And unfortunately, liquid foundation is just something I'm always gonna struggle with, and it's never gonna work for my face. Unless somebody wants to show me how to do it without it caking on my face. I really feel like the way for me, and the easiest way, and the quickest way for me, without feeling like I have a ton of makeup on, is to go with a powder foundation. I hope that if you're struggling with applying liquid foundation, that this has helped you a little bit. But tell me in the comments below what works best for you on applying liquid foundation. Tell me what you think of powder foundation and what works best for you. Thank you for joining me today on Makeup Monday. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, but don't forget to subscribe and click the bell. God bless you. Have a great week. Love you.